This isn't just a story about success. It's a story about what happens when determination is stronger than circumstance. And by the end of this video, you may never look at an ordinary person the same way again. Every evening, as the sun disappeared behind the city skyline, the employees of Orion Technologies packed their bags and hurried home. The officers slowly became quiet. The laughter faded. The elevators stopped, and the long hallways echoed with silence. Only one man remained. His name was Michael Parker, 42 years old, a janitor, wearing a simple blue uniform, pushing an old cleaning cart through the endless glass hallways. To most people, he was invisible. Employees walked past him every day without saying hello. Some didn't even know his name. To them, he was simply the cleaning guy. But Michael never let their opinions define him. Because while everyone else saw a janitor, Michael saw something completely different. He saw an opportunity. Life had never been easy for Michael. Before sunrise, he delivered newspapers across quiet neighborhoods. During the afternoon, he stocked shelves at a local grocery store, and every night, he cleaned one of the biggest technology companies in the city. 3 jobs, almost no sleep, just enough money to keep food on the table. Every dollar mattered. Every hour mattered. But there was one reason. Michael never gave up. His daughter, Emily. She was only 10 years old. Every evening before leaving for work, Michael helped her finish her homework. They lived in a tiny apartment with old furniture and peeling paint. It wasn't much, but to Emily, home wasn't measured by how big it was. It was measured by the love inside it. Michael often smiled and told her, "One day, life will be different." Emily always believed him, even when nobody else did. Late one night, as Michael cleaned the executive conference room, he noticed something unusual. Business reports, marketing plans, financial documents, and thick business books had been left on the conference table. Most people would have thrown them away without another thought. Michael didn't. He picked one up, sat down for just a few minutes, and began reading. At first, almost nothing made sense. Words like revenue, cash flow, market share, customer retention. They sounded like another language. But instead of giving up, Michael became curious. He wanted to understand. So every night, after finishing his cleaning duties, he spent a few extra minutes reading whatever he could find. Those few minutes soon became an hour, then 2. Without realizing it, the office where he worked had quietly become his classroom. Michael didn't stop there. He started borrowing business books from the public library. He watched free online lectures on an old laptop. He filled notebook after notebook with ideas. Some nights, he studied until the sun began rising again. He was exhausted, but every new lesson gave him hope. Because Michael believed something very few people ever understand. Your job may pay your bills, but your learning builds your future, night after night. While everyone else was sleeping, the janitor was secretly preparing for a life nobody imagined, and without knowing it, he was getting closer to the opportunity that would change everything. But first, the company itself would face its greatest crisis, and when that moment arrived, the only person who truly understood the solution would be the man holding the mop. Each page he turned gave him more confidence. Each lesson made him a little wiser than the day before. No one around him noticed the change. To everyone else, he was still just a janitor, but he discovered how successful people solved problems instead of complaining about them. With every book he finished, his confidence grew stronger. He no longer looked at obstacles as roadblocks. While cleaning the office, Michael noticed something everyone else had ignored and created a simple solution. The next morning, with a nervous smile and a hopeful heart, he handed his idea to the manager. Michael had no idea that one small idea was about to change his life forever. Michael walked into the meeting with a racing heart. He expected a few questions. The executives were impressed. His simple idea had the potential to save the company thousands of dollars every single year. They didn't see a janitor. They saw a man who could think, solve problems, and create value. Soon, Michael was offered a new position. It wasn't the top job, but it was the first step toward a completely different future. He accepted the opportunity with gratitude and never stopped growing, because Michael knew success isn't built in one big moment. It's built through thousands of small decisions made every single day. Michael Parker walked through the front doors of the same company where he had once cleaned the floors, but this time now stood to welcome their new leader. The janitor had become the CEO, not because of luck, not because someone handed him success, but because he chose to improve himself every single day. Standing before his team, Michael smiled and said, "Never let your current position decide your future. The smallest habit you build today can create the biggest change in your life tomorrow." The room fell silent. Those weren't just inspiring words, they were the story of his life. What small step can you take today that your future self will thank you for? Because your story. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Remember, greatness doesn't come from where you start. It comes from the choices you make every single day.